What happened to that guy? I don't know. He had to go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I knew.
No.
I
knew it. He's done it this time.
Gone too far.
And everywhere I walk now, I go, I know today, all day today, it's going to be, Howard, what happened? And I'm going to have to go around going, nothing happened. I didn't do anything.
When I walked in here this morning, Miss said, Robin, is it true?
Who said that?
Mitch.
Oh, Mitch was worried. Mitch, I step out of the car this morning. Mitch goes, Howard, the drug enforcement officials are after you. They're coming after you. I said, Mitch, I know all about it. He goes, quickly, I got to get up. I mean, he was like pushing me into the building. I mean, it was like, oh, man, I just don't need this right now.
I'm sure you'll get some sort of letter or direct comments today from DEA that they apologize for ever releasing this type of
we want a big story.
No, I don't want a little apology. This is big as, I want it on page 7, the same size as this Howard Stern probe. I want Mike Levine acted without Robert Stutman's knowledge.
I'll talk to you when you go off the air. I think I have an idea for Mr. Levine we'll talk about.
All right, thank you.
Let me maybe give Gary the number where they're waiting for your call.
All right, hold on, Dominic.
Okay.
I know I'm going to end up in divorce court if I hire him as an attorney. I just know it.
Well, just as an addendum.
Yeah. He's got some balls on him, though.
Oh, yeah. He knows his job.
Dominic owes me. Maybe he'll take on the case. I don't know. I have to decide what lawyer. I am getting friendly with, what's his name?
Barry Slotnick.
Yeah. I want to know who they're going to shake in their boots more over.
Well, you know, this is a sort of a civil rights case.
Yeah, it is.
I'd take William Kunstler.
Oh, please.
He just won a case. I couldn't believe it.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did he win?
He got Larry Craighead Davis off.
Of what?
For killing crack dealers.
All right. I don't know, but I don't think that's good. I don't know that I want Kunstler as my attorney.
Oh, God. That's the first time I've ever been aware that he won a case.
There's a trick.
I'm telling you. Get him off.
Get Larry Crackhead Davis off.
Yeah.
Well, that's the report. I got 2 reporters from the Post. Well, the Post is loving this because all of my listeners are going to cancel their subscriptions to the Daily News and stop advertising in it.
They see an opportunity here.
Yeah, you're waiting to see. I'm going to keep this up. I'm not going to drop it after a day. The Daily News is going to be crippled. I could cost them a few 100,000 subscribers. If I could cost them 300,000 subscribers...
At 35 cents.
Times 35, 0.35, 5 times 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, times 15, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 9, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 5, 10, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's $10,500,000 I cost.
Yeah?
That's right. Oh, excuse me, it's not 10 million. It's
1,000.
1, 2, 3. $10,500.
Oh, that's nothing.
Oh, man, wait a second.
Forget it.
I got to do something more than that. What do you mean they're in trouble?
So I was reading this article on one of the trade magazines that...
Yeah, but the point is, if I cost them 300,000 subscribers, their advertising rate goes down.
Oh, yeah.
There's just, although, who keeps track of that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it will happen. I will cancel their subscriptions. Sorry, Gary, what?
So I was reading an article on one of the trade magazines saying that even though they have the highest circulation in New York, they're still not making as much money as some of the other papers. Good. Now they'll make less because the circulation's going to come down.
Thank you, Correspondent Gary.
Yeah, very interesting information. So let's get back to the article here. Maybe someone should have warned him, Stern, that he was admitting to the... I didn't know I was under oath, sir. This is called theater. Stern's cable program was a pay-per-view special whose guests included Long Island Bible belle Jessica Hahn, who appeared in a negligee. Stern appeared on the show in black leather underwear, and skits included a gay Untouchables. Even that's kind of weird.
This is where I thought that he'd say, and you can get a videotape of this at 1-800-52-STERN.
Yeah, and they left out the bum makeover, too. And lesbian dial-a-date.
Yeah.
In his radio broadcast Monday, Stern talked about getting drugs for an unnamed guest on the TV special. Yesterday, Stern read a letter from a teacher who chided him about his statements. That's not what she chided me about. He then called the woman while on the air defending what he said he had done. Whose quote is that?
That's no quote.
No quote. They're stating that as fact. Then they have the headline, Unfortunate. Robert Stutman, head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, New York's office, said Levine's letter, this should have been the first paragraph, how the Drug Enforcement Agency is busy, patrolmen are out writing letters now.
Right.
Robert Stutman, head of the Drug Enforcement Administration's New York office, said Levine's letter was written without the agency's knowledge. It's a quote. Citing a policy of not commenting on whether probes are underway, Stutman said it was unfortunate the letter was disseminated. There was no probe underway. Stutman added, however, the drug and violence problem in the country will continue at the present extreme high level until we turn around the attitude of acceptance of drug usage. Statements by public personalities such as Stern simply enhance the attitude of acceptance of drug use. Hey, number one, pal, it ain't up to you to decide what's supposed to be said on the air.
Don't you think you'd influence yourself? If that actually was the case, you talk about drugs every day and you still don't take them.
Yeah. If I'm on the air claiming I don't take drugs, I'm against the selling of drugs, what more can I say? And number two, if I want to say that if somebody wants to take drugs, I don't think they should be arrested, you got no right to tell me that's wrong to say, Mr. Stutman. You don't know what I've said unless you're a regular listener of this show. What is it, Mitch?
Mary Murphy on the CBS News just announced that you're the target of a drug investigation.
There you go. Well, there you go.
See there? Your reputation is irreparably damaged.
I better call my parents.
You have to sue.
I have to sue. I am going to sue. I am announcing now that I am going to take out a lawsuit against Mr. Levine and the Drug Enforcement Administration. I'm going to conduct a probe. I'm going to contact the newspapers. I am going to now go. I have been targeted once again by the government. The FCC has every right to investigate me. They did it properly. I'm on a government-owned facility, not government-owned, but government-licensed facility. I understand that kind of probe. I'm willing to accept it. This I am not willing to accept. I'm not accepting the improper nature of how this thing was conducted. I realize the show isn't funny today, but I'm not here to be funny. I'm the target of a probe, an unfair probe, and it was all orchestrated by a guy who didn't even have the authority to send a letter to the Daily News. Who
shouldn't be driving a car and listening to his radio.
Yeah, he should be out busting crack dealers. I'm literally flipping my lid here on the air, and I'm beside myself because I now have to go deal with the consequences of this.
This is how you wind up reading your transcripts as an act.
Yeah, this is how Lenny Bruce got ruined. I'm telling you, I'm going to be reading court cases on the air. But I am really going to pursue this, Robin. For once in my life...
It's time to fight back. We got to draw the line somewhere. Everybody thinks this is, a free-for-all.
This is a real funny little...
This show.
This is real funny. Oh, Howard Stern made statements. So I'll go write a letter, and I'm going to start my own investigation. Robert Stutman doesn't know about the investigation. I've got proof here, sitting here. 10 million times I said I don't do drugs. I don't procure drugs. Gary was backstage with me. You were backstage with me. I have witnesses. I have my agent backstage with me. I have the owners of this radio station who were back there. I have my general manager. I have reputable business people. I have police officers who were there, and none of them saw any drugs going on. Nor did I have time to procure any drugs, nor did I ever see any drugs that night. And nor did I ask anybody else to procure any drugs. I am suing. I am outraged. I've been libeled. My family's been libeled. I look at my children, I've been libeled. This is absolutely an outrage. I demand collection of some kind of monetary... I've been outraged here.
This is so stupid.
CBS News just announced that I am the target of a drug probe. I have not even been contacted by anybody at the drug...
This is a waste of money.
I better see a statement from Mr. Levine and his buddy Robert Stutman today saying that I am not a target of any probe. I want this cleared up. I want this absolutely cleared up right now.
I'm not paying my taxes this year.
And I want a big announcement made. I want a press conference held with me standing there saying that they have never once ever heard of me doing any drugs.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of doing with government money.
Oh, the guy heard it on the radio. Hey, welcome to theater, pal. You heard what on the radio? Question me. Oh, you don't like what I'm saying on the radio? Oh, another guy who doesn't like what I'm saying on the radio. A guy with a little bit, 2-bit power base with the Drug Enforcement Agency, and he's going to go nail me. Thanks. Well, at least contact me that you're going to nail me first. And tell your boss you're going to do it.
There's a law against attitudes about drugs in this country.
Damn.
I didn't know that.
Oh, he's upset because Robert Stutman's upset. Here, ranking sources confirmed that the agency has begun a preliminary probe. Now I got a preliminary probe on my ass. And that it took the unusual step of getting approval from the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office. Gee, why doesn't somebody tell me about this? The sources said the drug agency sought the go-ahead because agents had several serious questions. Was it appropriate to begin a probe based on statements that may simply be outrageous claims by a performer who thrives on outrageous, often raunchy humor? Well, there it is, pals. And if I had the same incident when I went on the air and said that I had tapes of Platoon, because I tried to get people roused up. FBI contacted me. I said I don't have tapes of it. That was the probe, because that was the truth. Agents found
even if it involved only a small amount of drugs, I think it's so hysterical.
Yeah, and if agents found grounds to move against Stern, would prosecutors agree to press the case even if it involved only a small amount of drugs? There was not only will say no small amount of drugs. There were no drugs, period. And I am suing your asses, every one of you. And Mr. Levine, I'm going to find out exactly about this letter you wrote. I want to see it. I want to see the stationery it was written on. I want to know exactly what was going on. Don't listen to your radio and play Perry Mason. How dare you? When you have a job as responsible as this. What do you think, man? I have no life? I have no outside life outside of radio? I got a family, man. I got parents. You don't go trashing people like this and making up stories. They, the prosecutors, said to go ahead because they felt the questions of attitudes toward drugs is very important, a top agency source said.
Now, who's that?
Who is the top agency source? I got a break for commercial here. Gary's giving me the high sign. Meanwhile, U.S. Attorney Rudolph Giuliani appraised last night of the remarks of the drug agency sources, said he did not want to comment until he read the story. Mr. Giuliani doesn't even know what's going on. And I'm now the target of a drug probe. Don't you think if it was a major drug probe that Mr. Giuliani would know something about it? I'm
yeah,
suing.
You're dangerous. You know, I've always said that.
I'm a dangerous man. They can't find the boats coming into this country. They can't bust any major mob figures. They can't get any information. They can't find a crack... in New York City, they can't find a crack dealer laying on the street. They can't even bust them.
I hope these people are now realizing, listening to this morning, what a big mistake they have made.
What is it, Mitch?
Now, it was just on the ABC News, and they said that you're being indicted.
Oh, God!
Indicted? I better call my parents next. I gotta just calm them down. I'm being indicted?
That's what they said on ABC News.
Do you see what happens? Ladies and gentlemen, do you see what happens to an individual in this country? I haven't even been contacted by anyone. Some guy writes a letter to the Daily News who works for the Drug Enforcement Agency, and now I'm being indicted on drug charges. Holy cow. Now, what about ABC? Can I call them to task for saying indicted? I haven't been indicted.
I don't know where they get this information, what they're basing the story on.
Why am I getting nervous here?
I think when you get indicted, you know it. You're feeling like Ivan Boesky right now?
Yeah, I mean, but Ivan Boesky did something wrong.
Right. I mean, I could see him tossing and turning at night when they started to get close to his heels.
Gary, do me a favor before I break for commercial before I have a nervous breakdown. Okay. Would you reiterate exactly, you were backstage with me, Ronnie, the limo driver, was backstage with me, 900 people backstage. Did you see any drugs?
No.
Did I ask you to get any drugs?
No.
Did I at any time buy any drugs?
Absolutely not.
Will you testify as to the cleanness of his lifestyle?
Well, I think any one of you could. Do you believe this? What are you thinking, Jackie?
There weren't any drugs in any of the backstage. I mean, I wasn't.
If there were drugs, I think Jackie would have found them.
Exactly.
In fact, Jackie complained several times there were no drugs. That was the whole gist of the conversation. Yes. I said to Gary, "You mean to tell me there's no drugs back there? Who ever heard of a TV show with no drugs?"
And all the live shows we ever did.
Yeah.
And all the radio shows
we never did.
We never do anything.
Because why? Because everyone knows that I would blow my stack.
I used to complain because there wasn't even beer on ice backstage.
And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't think of that kind of stuff because I don't do that kind of stuff."
Don't you remember the champagne row?
Yeah.
And Mr. Drug Enforcement Agency, not that it's any of your business, because you don't regulate what I say. I have come out many times against drugs. What's the deal?
Candy's on the hotline, and she says she was also backstage, and she saw nothing at all, and she wants to talk.
That's right. Candy was backstage the whole time.
She never made it to the stage.
Yeah. She's a hostile witness. Candy? I know I got a break for commercial, but I just can't believe I'm being railroaded. Candy? She's not there.
Well, she's taking drugs.
She was silenced. Candy?
Somebody shut her up.
Oh.
Yeah, Howard, just a second. Okay, I'm here.
All right. First of all, let me just say there was no coercion on our part.
Yeah, I'm here, Howard.
Did you see any drug usage backstage?
Not only did I not see any drug usage, but I wanted to smoke a cigarette, and you couldn't even smoke a cigarette in the green room.
Right.
Did you hear of me trying to procure drugs? Did you hear of me?
I didn't hear
anything. Did you see me out on the street trying to buy drugs or buying drugs in the studio?
Absolutely not. There was no one in that green room even smoking cigarettes. The only hard liquor there was wine.
Yeah,
no one was even drinking much of it.
This guy heard my comments on the radio and is basing an investigation, and I'm indicted?
It's unbelievable because I even said, where do you go to smoke a cigarette? You couldn't even smoke a cigarette. And not only that.
First of all, there was a lock on the building with police, and also there was a lock on my door that nobody could get through backstage. There was no way I knew the code to even get out to buy drugs.
There was no way there could have been anything going on. I was in the bathroom with the audience. There wasn't anything going on in the public bathroom.
Nor would I ask Gary to ever buy drugs for anybody.
So, Howard, if anyone wants me to say anything, I was there the whole night. There was nothing more going on than someone sipping a glass of white wine.
That shouldn't have even been going on.
That was it.
How did that happen?
All right, so then I'm guilty. Someone drank wine. Maybe that's illegal now.
That's all. And nothing in the bathrooms. I mean, if something is going to happen, it's going to be in the bathrooms.
They are setting me up here. This is how people are set up. This is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
Thank you, Candy.
Okay.
Candy Roth's checking in.
Checking in with her testimony.
And if anybody has a vendetta against me, it's Candy to go on and
she
say...
was upset. She didn't get on the show.
Someone wants to be a hostile witness.
We didn't even know Candy was backstage, much less drugs.
The only drug that I knew of backstage, you know the guy who lit his penis on fire? Yeah. He did some ointment. Okay? You're not kidding.
Yeah, he can't be blamed.
I think I got a case. I gotta have a lawsuit. There's got to be...
This is defamation of character.
It's got to be. All the networks are now picking it up.
Defamation of character.
Hey, Mitch, was that ABC local or national? Oh, Christ. Although maybe I should release the tape nationally now. People are going to want to see what went on.
Well, you got backstage footage that shows that it wasn't crazy backstage, which, you know what I mean?
Yeah, really. You would have think you could have seen someone smoking a joint. I even got tapes of backstage. In fact, even on the backstage tape, you see me locked in my dressing room.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even come out. How could I buy drugs for someone if I didn't leave my dressing room the entire evening?
Everybody was working so hard and trying to make things go off right. There was no...
I hardly saw Fred and Jackie.
Oh, God.
I saw you for a second.
Some maniac is listening to his radio and comes to some cuckoo decisions that he's going to start his own investigation without Robert Strutman's... I better call my parents. Let's take a break. We'll be back right after this. Oh, look at this on page 6. All-out war has erupted between radio's morning maniac Howard Stern and Daily News TV critic Kay Gardella over her reference to Howard's recent cable show as a ripoff. Howard called up Kay during his show to find out why she didn't like his negligee and underpants party and learned that she hadn't even seen it. She even admitted on air that she had based her negative opinion primarily on the pan penned by the Post's David Benicciulli. Kay then defended herself in the news, writing, "I can smell garbage. I don't need to see it." Howard, who says he's thinking lawsuit, countered with a parody of the Beatles' paperback writer called Inaccurate Writer. I got lawsuits all over the place. I never sue because I never think I can win them. But this one I think I can win, this drug thing. All I know is Channel 2, 4, and 7 now are saying that I'm indicted on drug charges. I better call my parents because they're going to be freaking out.
This has got to have gotten to them already.
My mother is going to be nuts. See, this is what I got to deal with. I don't mind dealing with the government. I mind dealing with my parents and my friends.
Well, that's why it's a nuisance, and that's why you should sue.
Yeah, when you hear my mother's voice, I think you're going to want to know why I want to sue. Let me just find her number. Hold on. Gotta look up my mother's number. I'm so damn busy these days, I don't even memorize my mother's number. Busy with this crap. Look at the audience. They're going nuts.
I don't blame them.
Well, what can they do? Imagine you were the target of a drug probe, and you didn't have a radio show to defend yourself.
Well, that's exactly it.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to talk about this for 4 hours. I'm afraid not to talk about it. Because people will think I'm guilty or something.
Yeah, people who just pick up the paper and don't happen to listen to the radio today will think it's true.
Yeah. Like maybe a guy I want to go to the bank for loans from. You know what I mean? Or something like that.
Oh, no. I understand that part of your money comes from small drug deals.
What do you got, Mitch? Oh, okay, thanks.
Oh, thank you, Mitch. He has his mother's number.
My parents are going to be beside themselves.
Hello.
Mom.
Good morning.
We're on the air.
Hi.
You hear any of this?
I didn't. I was sleeping late this morning. I just heard the tail on something about drugs.
Did Dad hear anything?
No.
I'm being investigated. Well,
Who's investigating?
the Drug Enforcement Agency.
For what?
I just want you to know to be calm. Number one, I'm taking out a lawsuit. Listen to what happened. I want you to calm down, first of all right? Don't be upset.
First of all, Howard, you know, you kid around about these drugs, and people take you for real.
Well, obviously,
and they don't know that you're joking about these things.
Ma, just calm down for a second. Number one, what, you're upset?
Of course I'm upset if it's true. Is it true?
What, did I procure drugs for anyone?
No, I'm upset if you're being investigated.
Let me tell you tell me if you think that this is legitimate, okay? Now listen just carefully, all right? See, this is the explanation I'm going to have to go through all day for everyone.
Doing this the rest of the day.
And I'm going to be doing this off the air for my parents. I'm going to be doing it to my sister.
Do it, Howard, and stop complaining.
Mom, I want you to understand something.
What?
Number one, first of all, Gary, you were backstage. Did I procure drugs for anyone? No.
I knew I should have been there. I knew I should have.
It's okay. The owners of the station were there. The police were there.
I should have been there.
Mom, take your Valium.
I told you that I should have been
Mom, please take the Valium.
You know, you never listen to me these days.
But, Mrs. Stern, it wouldn't have made any difference because we didn't do anything.
No, but if I had been there, I could have testified.
But, Mom, we got Ronnie stood bodyguard over me. They wouldn't even let you testify because you're my mother. I've got 100 witnesses. First of all, you know my reputation. Do I put anything into my body?
Never.
That is not...
The atmosphere is pure when you're around, but people don't know this because you
wait a second.
kid around, and I told you that this is not a subject to kid around about.
Ma, that's not neither here nor there. Wait till you hear how they targeted me and what's going on. You're going to be shocked. This is how our government operates. I'm coming to the conclusion that we don't need a government.
Well, we need a government to fix the roads and to maintain commerce between the states.
I could trip over a crack dealer in New York, but the Drug Enforcement Agency is busy appointing Elvis as one of their chief guys. Don't tell me. So wait a second. Gary, did I do any drugs that night?
Absolutely
not. Did I ask you to buy any drugs that night?
No, you didn't.
Did I ask you to give drugs to anybody that night?
No.
There you are.
But you see, you were kidding around about it with that woman.
Doesn't matter. Listen, you can't base an investigation on something like that. You contact me. Now listen to this.
This is a comedy show.
Mom, listen to this.
I know it's a comedy show.
Mom, just listen to this. Would you calm down? Do I have to go through this explanation for my father, too?
No, because I know that you're a clean kid, and I know that the atmosphere around you is always very pure.
I want you to understand something.
Yeah.
A guy named Michael Levine, who works for the Drug Enforcement Administration, was driving in his car and listened to my radio broadcast. He decided that I'm for real. He wrote against the knowledge of Robert Strutman, the head of the Drug Enforcement Administration.
Well, that's ridiculous.
He wrote to the Daily News on his own, acting on his own, without their permission.
No, well, they have to have proof, Howard.
No, they can't prove the charges, obviously. There's no proof to back it up. But what I'm saying is, but listen to what they did.
Yeah.
Because they're already on CBS News saying I'm under indictment for drug charges.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, but I'm telling you this so you don't freak out. Just listen to the aggravation in this woman's voice.
Yeah.
If I don't get a huge settlement out of this, I don't know who does. This is my mother.
Very worried.
Mom, just listen to me. Nothing's going to happen.
I know nothing's going to happen.
But let me just tell you something.
Yes.
So the guy's driving his car, acting on his own. He writes a letter to the Daily News. My pals at the Daily News, who love me because I point out the truth about Kay Gardella, write up that I am now under investigation. Instead of writing, listen to what Robert Strutman, the head of the Drug Enforcement Agency, said, Ma, so you calm down, all right?
Yeah.
Levine's letter was written without the agency's knowledge, citing a policy of not commenting on whether probes are underway. Strutman said it was unfortunate the letter was disseminated. The man acted on what?
You might get upset if you keep mispronouncing his name.
What's his name? Stutman, excuse me. Mr. Stutman.
Well, Howard, I hope that this teaches you not to fool around about that subject anymore.
No, it teaches me nothing. It teaches me our government is out of control, Ma.
No, the government is not out of control.
A man can't act on his own without his boss's knowledge. You see, this is how my parents are going to now think, oh, my God.
Like when the teacher said, well, I don't want you to do that. Well, this is not giving us freedom of expression.
I'm allowed to talk. You know what I'm guilty of? I said on the air yesterday that I believe that if someone wants to do drugs, they should not be arrested. The Drug Enforcement Agency feels that's irresponsible. Whether that's irresponsible or not is not for them to decide. This is the way I feel. I do not do drugs. I do not sell drugs. I do not condone the usage of drugs. I've mentioned this 100 times. I mentioned that I did drugs as a young kid and that it ruined my life. It took away pieces of my memory. How many times do I have to warn against the evils of drugs?
No, it's not true. That's not true. You never did drugs. That's ridiculous.
Well,
you never did. And
I don't do drugs now, that's for sure.
That.
And I'll take a drug test right now. I'll take a drug test right now.
How would you love to exaggerate?
Exactly. But the point is that you can't base an investigation on some maniac disc jockey.
You can't convict somebody for an exaggeration.
And you don't put in the paper that I'm under investigation when the Drug Enforcement Agency didn't even know anything about it. Rudolph Giuliani knows nothing about it. And now it's on CBS News that I'm up on charges for drugs. I'm
sorry that I didn't attend that show.
Ma, it wouldn't have made a difference. This guy...
It would have made a difference if I attended that show.
It makes no difference.
This article would still be in the paper today.
And you want to know something, Ma? I'm glad it comes out because there are millions of people out there who get affected by stuff like this every day, but they don't have a radio show to defend themselves on.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you something. This is so irresponsible what this guy has done, acting on his own without the knowledge of the Drug Enforcement Administration, that I believe I have a huge lawsuit for defamation.
I would like to speak to this person.
Oh, he won't call in. You know why he won't call in? Because he doesn't want to. He was driving in his car. He thought he was... This guy now is shaking in his boots. Does he realize he broke administration policy? He called the Daily News, he wrote the Daily News and decided to start his own investigation, and Robert Stutman didn't even know about it? Ma, this is unbelievable. That's why I don't want you to get upset.
I won't get upset, Howard. I just would like to speak with this person, and if you can arrange it, I would like to speak.
Well, we haven't spoken.
Well, we haven't spoken. No one's contacted me. I don't even think I'm under investigation. I think the whole thing's going to blow over today.
I'll straighten him out for you. Don't worry about it.
I don't know, Ma. I think it's going to take more than you to straighten him out.
No.
Sounds like a man who would act on his own without
Because they really don't know you, Howard. They really don't know you.
Well, that's the point. They should have taken the time to find out.
That's true.
You don't indict people in the newspaper and ruin their reputations without questioning them first. And that's what even Mr. Stutman said.
Don't they realize the seriousness of these allegations?
I mean, this is heavy stuff. This is government stuff.
I'm very sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, well, do me a favor. Don't ruin your day over it.
Okay.
Just don't go out.
And tell Dad. And what's Dad doing? Is Dad like pulling the rest of his hair out of his head?
No.
Tell him to relax. It's no big deal. And don't call me later and say, "Oh my God, what's going?" Nothing is going to happen, except that I'm going to collect a lot of money for my lawsuit. Unless I see an apology within about 10 minutes before any more. These guys should be on CBS News right now saying, "Wait a second, we made a mistake."
They should be on the phone here.
Right.
And apologizing.
Well, I don't know.
I am calling for a big boycott of the Daily News. This is absolute railroading on their part.
This is one person on the Daily News that did it, and I don't think there should be a boycott.
There absolutely should be.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
I want a full-page retraction.
You're too frantic.
I'm not frantic.
Absolutely not. And that's not... I mean, the
you
woman
know how upset she is?
The woman made a mistake, and that doesn't...
Pretty big mistake, Ma.
...constitute the newspaper making a mistake.
No, I'm not talking about the woman. I'm calling for the boycott. You should see the article they wrote about me. Howard Stern probed. Federal drug agents have begun... I mean,
in today's newspaper?
Yes! This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Kay Gardell anymore.
I can't.
This is their personal vendetta against me.
I can't believe it, Howard.
Ma,
I can't believe it. I'll have to say it with
this is part of being in the public eye. My agent always said to me, it's going to get worse and worse the more you're in the public eye. And he's right. But I never thought that the government in the United States would do this.
Doing this kind of silliness.
This is unbelievable. They can't find boats coming into this country. They're busy with me.
Your mother hung up on you?
Ma?
No, I didn't hang up.
Who picked up, Dad?
I don't know.
Well, who else would be in the house? Probably drug enforcement people. Gonna bust you, too.
They're watching you.
Did you do any drugs?
Did who do any drugs?
Gary, did I do drugs that night?
No, boss.
Ronnie, the limo driver, stood by me the entire night. Did he see me leave my dressing room? Did I do anything? Yeah, Dad.
This agent, I mean, he's in big trouble.
Yes, he is.
He absolutely is.
This guy, I don't know who he is or what basis he did this, and that newspaper for printing something from an unauthorized source.
Right.
To make an accusation like this, they're both in big trouble.
Thank you.
Oh, for definite. I mean, I never heard of anything like this.
That's
in fact, if you listen to any talk show or any discussion group, there are always pros and cons. I mean, if you make a statement that you think that drugs should be made legal,
I can say that.
I say it too.
Dad, the thing is that if somebody, the reason I called you guys, in all seriousness, is I don't want you guys to be upset because a lot of people are going to be asking you questions about it. The only thing you guys should be upset was that I don't have an attorney yet to handle this lawsuit for me. And I don't want you guys feeling that I did any drugs, because I didn't, and you know that.
I know that.
The only two people that should be upset is this agent.
Right.
And whoever from the paper printed this without even getting any kind of
Yeah, I could give you the writer's name, but I'm sure he didn't. It's not even his fault. I'm sure the editor approved this article, and it is a total outrage.
Well, he must have thought that there was an authorized person from the.
Oh yeah, this was
but
all.
You don't write articles on thinking that this is on a hearsay. You write an article on something with proof, and you don't do things.
Hey, don't you question me first as to whether or not there's any validity to my statement?
Well, the first thing
what statement? You didn't.
Yeah, I didn't make a statement.
The first thing the agency do is got to bring this man up on charges and have an investigation of this man. I don't think he has all his marbles.
No, I don't either.
I think he's got a couple of cylinders missing.
Well, he heard it, and he decided he's going to be a hero. He's going to see his name in the newspaper. Well, he has seen his name in the newspaper, and now I am not going to let him get off without suffering the consequences.
I don't think anybody should be left off the hook after.
Oh, absolutely not.
This is not a case of live and let live. This is a guy who's and you know something? It's my obligation to my audience, because if they ever get in trouble like this, so that the Mike Levines of this world don't drive by and hear a conversation and decide they're going to start a drug probe and put it in the newspaper by writing to the Daily News.
This is definitely malicious on his part. He admits that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it will be taken care of correctly. I have...
Well, now I got to go to the expense of getting an attorney, but I'm sure I could get one to work on.
Oh, they'll be paying.
Yeah.
Well, what about Dominic? He doesn't do anything like that?
Well, Dominic wants to take the case. I'm just, wondering if that's the way to go.
Well,
I don't know.
You can get someone on a contingency basis, because this thing is really a solid case.
Yeah, well, Dominic said I absolutely have a big case.
No question.
And the question is just now pursuing it. So I'm totally outraged. I don't know how the Drug Enforcement Agency plans to proceed at this point. I have not heard from them. All I know is Channel 2, 4, and 7. The only reason I called you is...
They picked up the story.
They picked up the story, and now ABC is on the air saying I'm indicted on drug charges.
Wow.
So, I mean, here it is, absence of malice.
I don't know that that's the case.
Well, Howard, you know that we stand behind you and what we think of you. And I'm just sorry that I was not at the show so that I could...
Wouldn't have made a difference.
Right. If you were at the show...
Makes no difference.
Doesn't make any difference. This man didn't even investigate. All he done is he listens to a radio program.
Right.
If he would indict everybody who talks on a radio program, I think everybody would be indicted.
Yeah, that's like indicting Glenn Close for stabbing Michael Douglas in Fatal Attraction.
Well, he didn't have to fail drive. He heard someone on the radio discussing it. He decided it was a murder committed.
Yeah.
And,
he's constantly pulling over to the side of the road.
Yeah, this guy's busy pulling. He must be pulling over to the side of the road every 5 minutes.
He can't get out of his car.
But you want to know why the Daily News printed this without any kind of double checking or anything? Because it's Howard Stern, and they feel they can get away with it.
That's right.
Because, hey, Howard Stern's a comedian, and he makes fun of everyone. Yeah, I make fun of people, but I make fun of them, and that's it. I don't tell people that they are up on drug charges.
Right.
And ABC News, shame on you bastards for saying that I'm indicted on drug charges. I have received no...
Now everybody's going off half-cocked.
Calling names, Howard. I don't like that. I really don't like that, and it doesn't suit you.
Well, my father's got it all together.
Your
and so do you. And just be strong.
I have it all together, and we stand behind you, and we always did, and we always will.
Right, but Ma, have Dad explain also to you and discuss it with him that this is absolutely an outrage. I don't want you upset.
I mean, this is some news to wake up to.
I know. I didn't want you hearing...
sometimes these people want to get close to the star.
Oh, yes. Yes. In fact...
That's a point, too. That's their way of communicating.
Well, I'll tell you what it is. A lot of times this happens to me. I've been, every once in a while I hear from, even people in the phone company and stuff who want to get involved with me.
Yeah.
So they call up and, find out if my service is going okay, if I've been bothered on my phone.
Very sweet.
No, it's very sweet. This is a case of a guy who listens to the show, and whether he admits to being a fan or not, I would suggest to you that he is a fan.
He's obsessed.
He got upset because he heard drugs mentioned. He happens to work in the drug field, so he says, hey, wait a second, I'll go investigate. I'll get to talk to Robin. I'll get to interview everyone who was at the Underpants party. I'll get to talk to Jessica Hahn. I'll get to talk to... he smelled a big thing here for himself. And he went and acted half-cocked.
Well, he should have done that. He should have investigated.
Right. If he really felt...
He should have written letters.
Yeah, and he should have contacted us and said, I want to do an investigation. I want to know, did this really happen? And I'll go, absolutely not. I didn't do any of this.
See, that's kind of fooling around. That's why I was saying that.
Who cares? It's not up to him to decide.
That's separate and apart from what I'm saying.
I got to break for a commercial. Are you okay about this, Ma? Do you understand that I'm not...
I'll handle it, but I just want you to know that we stand behind you.
Oh, of course.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See how upset they are? I mean, that's no joke. My mother is shaking over this. Yeah. She hates this stuff. This is what I can't deal with. If I was alone in the world, if I didn't have a family, if I didn't have a wife, my wife's okay about it. She's upset. If I didn't have children and stuff who go to school. And yesterday I'm registering...
oh, man, can you imagine?
I'm registering Emily for kindergarten. I'm thinking, man, she wants a dirtbag for her father, you know, up on drug charges.
Yeah, your father does drugs.
I feel like I'm Scarface or something. Imagine do you realize what it is for the government to take out a case against a disc jockey?
Your father's a drug dealer. Oh, my God.
Good Lord.
I mean, that's what they're saying today.
Talk about a waste of time. That's what they're saying about me, that I'm a drug dealer. ABC News goes, Howard Stern is being indicted for drugs. Oh, gee, well, what about the rest of the story? Where is it? Holy cow. And I bet you after the air clears on this and there's a total retraction, no one will even say anything.
Oh, no, it'll be nothing.
I'll be explaining this for the rest of my life.
It's just like all the, myths and legends, myths and legends.
Well, somebody's going to pay for it. I mean financially. Someone is going to pay for this.
This is the wrong thing to do. You don't go and take a guy's reputation and try to smear it.
That's right.
In this fashion.
Didn't that happen with Wayne Newton? Didn't he collect $19 million? And now they reduced it.
Trying to reduce because he didn't happen to lose any. How do you know he wouldn't have made a lot more?
That's right. Wow. I just got to decide which attorney to hire and talk to a bunch of them today. I'll get off the air and...
well, that's what you'll be doing. You'll be attorney shopping
this
afternoon.
Yeah, instead of working on the show, I'll be attorney shopping.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after this.
You've been waiting for, friends. These grand opening prices and Saturday.
Read a letter from my bar. It was sent to the Daily News. This was my bar is the company that computerizes your company. These guys are really top notch. I won't read the letter, but the letter basically states that they're pulling all their advertising from the Daily News. And you should pull your subscriptions from the Daily News. And don't buy the Daily News. Sick of them railroading me. It's a matter I don't like that I point out that Kay didn't happen to watch the show that she reviewed. Look at this letter they wrote to the Daily News. As part of my late spring and early summer advertising campaign, my advertising agency has recommended to us 16 full-page ads in your newspaper. I have instructed my advertising agency to eliminate your paper from my campaign and to put my money behind more responsible media vehicles.
Thank you.
If this in any way prompts your organization to rethink its tactics of biased personal attacks by its journalists, I would appreciate a written reply. All right. Michael Horn, Vice President of my bar.
Because these people have gotten totally out of hand.
Oh, yeah. It's time to act. It's time for me not to sit still. The Drug Enforcement Agency I'll take up with my attorney, and the newspaper I'll take up with my listeners. We'll cripple them. I'm going to cripple them. I'm going to target them the way they target me. Just cripple them. Cripple them. Put that newspaper in a wheelchair. My bar is great. I called them last night before I knew about any of this drug enforcement crap.
You having a problem with your computer?
No, not really a problem. I want to access more stuff in the city, so I called Mike Horn and asked him if it's possible. He said, yeah, sure, we'll just schedule an appointment, come out, and show you how to do it.
You see, that's the kind of people you have standing behind you in that computer operation when my bar installs your computer system.
And that's what you should do for your business. Call my bar, M-I-B-A-R. Oh, here's Tom, our general manager. What's the deal? Have you heard from anybody yet?
The phones are going crazy. Are you kidding?
I know. You go out there, everything's ringing.
Tom, my parents are freaking out.
I heard your mom. She sounded real upset.
Well, Tom was the one who broke the news to me.
Oh.
And forget about it, man. He's like the voice of doom when he tells you.
Shoot the messenger. That's what you do when Tom comes.
I said, Tom, don't you understand that Tom, you were backstage. Did you see any drug usage?
None. Absolutely none.
Did you see me running around looking for drugs for anyone?
I saw you running around, so you're not looking for drugs for anyone.
Right. Running around. I was in my dressing room. How could you see
having
me?
Having his body painted.
Before the show, did you see me?
I didn't even see you before the show.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was in the dressing room.
Yeah.
With Ronnie, the limo driver.
And, I mean, there are so many ways to back up this story. You forget.
Yeah, I know. It's just that my parents are freaking out. And you know what? But I know it's frivolous, but I'm going to have to walk around all day. And should I let them get away with it? Don't you think I should hire an attorney to sue? Don't you think?
I don't know. I mean...
So you're too level-headed. My father is more conservative than you, and he even says. You see what Mike Horn from my bar did? Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I heard you say that on the way in this morning.
What's Mike Horn's number, Tom? So you don't even know. 212-725-4600. 212-725-4600. That man is a saint. You do business with Mike Horn.
I'll never say anything bad about him again.
Call him up and congratulate him. Where are you going, Tom? Come back in here.
I can go. I can find Garrett.
212-725-4600.
I was thinking something, and Tom walked in. I don't know what it was.
Tom, go destroy all those pictures of yourself with the long hair in the 1970s. I need you as a witness. He was a hippie. Great. Another hippie.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Audience is freaking out.
No, but the phones are ringing off the hook out there. Every phone in the place is ringing.
Dominic Barber said he's already downtown to Daily News getting a copy of the letter that was written by this guy from the Drug Enforcement Agency. And
then how do we get it from Dominic?
And that's the thing. I guess I got to hire him as my attorney before I can... A lot of lawyers are advising me not to even talk about this because I have such an ironclad case.
Ah.
But I don't care. I'm going to talk about it because it's on my mind, and I could not possibly do a show without talking about it. And my mother's really upset.
Yeah, you could hear that.
And the only way to calm her down is to let her know that it's totally frivolous.
This has to be nipped in the bud. I mean, that's what I meant to ask Tom. Didn't he hear what the other news media was doing with this story? He's saying, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Howard Stern's up on indictment. Hello?
Indicted for drugs. I mean, that's a kind of a story that people would believe right away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because of the other reputation they've created for you in the press.
Yeah. Another untrue reputation. The bad boy schlock jock thing. Cousin Brucey and his pals.
Even Cousin Brucey would testify that you're a clean-cut guy.
Yeah. We got tape of Cousin Brucey saying it. Gary, do you want to call your parents on the air and tell them you're not involved? Because you're freaking out, too. And I know your mother's going to be freaking out.
Yeah, I would, actually.
All right. You give me the number and I'll do it.
Yeah, we should go to a spot now.
I don't have time for a phone call. Okay, let me do a spot and then we'll take phone calls. Robin, I think that we just got to do this for the rest of the show, just so I can clear my good name. I had the Tiny Tim tapes. Tiny Tim's coming in tomorrow.
You know, we may not even be able to do a dial-a-date tomorrow if this keeps up.
Well, there's going to be so much news happening around this whole thing that I can't see us doing a dial-a-date. Do you think Tiny would do it on Monday? Or is he leaving town? I can't.
Where is he?
I have to check. I have no idea.
Okay.
But, I mean, this, you know, just for the disruption in your ability to perform, there must be some damages here.
Yeah. I think I got a lawsuit this time. I think I really do.
I think this is retirement.
Yeah, this could be it.
This is the retirement fund.
I'm like suing for like $19 million.
Yeah.
I just got a phone call from Associated Press wanting to know if you're holding a press conference today.
Oh, my God.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. The Drug Enforcement Agency better come out and just, you guys
better squash this story.
You guys better get down here. Let's have a meeting and talk this thing through. I want to know just what your plans are. I better just have my attorney call them.
I'm telling you, Howard, you cannot let this go.
The longer it goes, the longer the defamation suit.
The worse it gets.
I'm not holding a press conference. Let those guys hold a press conference.
You didn't do anything.
I didn't do
Saying.
anything.
You're being harassed now because they are doing something.
Well, the Daily News got me good. I'll tell you one thing, pals. I'm going to get you back. I'm going to get you back. I got a lot of fans.
Don't learn. Look at what's happened to NBC.
I crushed NBC, and now I hate you guys more than NBC. I'm liking NBC again compared to you guys. I am going to crush you.
We hope they have a comeback now.
You are going to have the lowest circulation out of any newspaper in the country when I get done with you. The burden of proof is on the Drug Enforcement Agency. Don't ask me to hold a press conference. I didn't do anything. This was a guy driving around in his car who wrote a letter to the Daily News who just happens to work for the Drug Enforcement Agency.
That's what I'm saying. They should be camped out at his house.
Go to his house, find out where Michael Levine lives, and go bother him. Don't bother me. I'm not holding any press conferences.
This is the very problem with this kind of a story. All of a sudden, no news has become news, and it's up to you to defend yourself against nothing.
Remember Paul Newman in Absence of Malice?
I just saw that this past Sunday, and I was like, this is really, really horrible what, can happen sometimes when erroneous information appears in the press. And this is exactly what has now happened.
Now I've got a story on my hands. Now I've got to deal with the story that some... Here.
Good morning.
You think anybody's over at the Drug Enforcement Agency right now?
No, I just read the Daily News.
Yeah.
I think this really sucks.
Yeah, tell me. Hey, how do you think I feel?
It seems like a witch hunt.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You're not commenting on my picture, are you?
No.
Oh.
No, well,
where is your
we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Hey, how do you like my picture? Pretty good, huh?
It's not bad.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
It's a good picture.
I do look like I'm on drugs, though.
I'm just shocked.
Well, you go
You
for
got all over
a
Kay
wild
Gardella
crazy.
yesterday, which she did deserve.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
But just because you got all over Kay Gardella yesterday, which she did deserve, they had the audacity to run you on page 7.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. And it's pretty funny when you read into the article, if you really, if you go past the first 2 paragraphs, which obviously most of the TV stations won't.
It really doesn't say much.
Because they're pretty much into broadcast news kind of journalism.
It
says that a guy was driving around and or I guess heard the show somehow and decided he's going to arrest me. He'd be happy to make an arrest. And he didn't tell his bosses that he was doing an investigation.
So what can you do about it?
But I don't understand something, Robin. As you read further into the article,
Yes.
it says here that there is an investigation.
Yes.
Now, so how did that all come down?
I don't know.
And they
like
moved?
I said, it's probably somebody asking a couple of questions and they're calling it an investigation.
Well, they say they, the prosecutors, in quotation.
Yeah. And they also said, so let's say the story was true.
Yeah.
And I scored a line of coke for someone, which I did not, by the way. I did not score any drugs for anybody.
So what can you do?
I'm going to get an attorney, in all seriousness.
He can be railroaded or he can fight back.
I can fight back. I'll fight back as best I can. I don't have the funds that the government has, obviously, but I will recommend 2 things. I'll ask my listeners to boycott the Daily News, to never buy it again, not to support them. If you're an advertiser, don't advertise on their paper. And I would hope that at least 300,000 to 400,000 subscriptions would be canceled to the Daily News.
I hope so, too.
And I really think that they've railroaded me here. They have not. They put a misleading headline.
Yeah, Howard Stern.
It should be Howard Stern probe by some guy who didn't even have authorization to probe him.
Some irate listener.
An irate listener who just happens to work at the Drug Enforcement Agency, so he's got a little power base that he wants to force on me. Oh, pal, check your facts. God, is this irresponsible or what?
It's the most irresponsible.
Michael Levine, by the way, we pay his salary, don't we?
He works for us.
He works in the Drug Enforcement Agency, and he has now taken it upon himself to start his own investigation without informing Robert Stutman, head of the Drug Enforcement Administration. He is now
Well, at
acting.
least he's decided to become a spokesman for the DEA without their knowledge.
He's like Alexander Haig. He's in charge.
Yeah.
He just decided he's in charge.
Let's forget the Constitution.
Yeah, let's skip all that nonsense. Let's skip drug enforcement policy. This is Howard Stern. I'm just going after him. It's frivolous, so I can go after him.
What, is the First Amendment a joke?
Yeah.
It seems to be right here.
I mean, I'm not allowed to support the idea that I don't think someone should be arrested for being a drug user.
But
I don't
you
think
never even said that.
Yeah. I'll say it now.
No, you just pissed off Kay Gardella.
Right.
That's it.
That's all. That's the bottom line. And look how they explain that whole thing. I didn't even get to the bottom of the
No,
article.
that's the last paragraph.
Stern is the morning person. Did I finish the article, Robin?
No, you got up to just above serious questions.
All right.
Or you were into that.
Okay. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Rudolph Giuliani appraised last night of the remarks of the drug agency sources, said he did not want to comment until he had read the story. He doesn't even know about this. I'm going to talk to Mr. Giuliani through my attorney, and I want him to know about this.
Well, he couldn't be reached last night. You think he's going to be able to be reached today?
I hope so, because, quite frankly, I think that maybe he can help me with this. I think he should be just as outraged as I am.
Howard, I wish you luck.
Stern is the morning personality on WXRK-FM. Attempts to reach him last night were unsuccessful. Nobody reached me. Of course they were unsuccessful. You got a story at 7 o'clock at night, and you printed it that night. You couldn't wait a day? Station Program Director Pat Evans and Vice President Tom Chiasano did not return calls. Because they don't know how to dial a telephone.
What were they going to say?
By the way, when I said they did not know how to dial a telephone, that was only a joke. Yeah. They literally do know how to do it. Colleen Fitzpatrick, who said she is assistant to Don Buchwald, that's my agent, said both would have absolutely no comment. Looks like we were afraid to comment.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I have no comment. My agent isn't authorized to comment on a drug situation.
He's not your lawyer.
The Drug Enforcement Administration action is not the first controversy produced by Stern's TV special. Have you ordered the TV special yet? Miss? Ma'am?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
I have pay-per-view here.
Yeah, 1-800-52-STERN, you get paid.
I know, but I don't have that kind of money,
What, $24.95 you don't have?
That's tough for me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
You got a baby?
Yeah. Can you hear her in the
Do you have a husband?
Yeah.
You guys go out to dinner at all?
Very rarely.
When's the last time you went out to dinner?
Oh, I guess about 2-3 months ago.
What does he do?
He works. I work.
And you still can't afford $24.95?
No, not
What do you guys work for the Drug Enforcement Agency?
$24.95 for shoes,
Did you call me collect or what?
No, I've been calling all morning.
Seems pretty frivolous to be calling a radio
Yeah,
station.
that's right, because this pissed me off. I think this is wrong.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living?
Yeah.
I'm a manager of a restaurant.
Really? How much do you make?
Not enough.
Well, how much? Give me a ballpark.
$200.
$200,000 a year you can't live on and buy a tape?
Really?
Wrong. Hey, Lindsay, hold on.
$200 a year?
True.
Hi.
That's my daughter.
Well, she sounds okay.
Yeah, she's okay.
I have a daughter, too, and it's really great when I look in her eyes and think to myself that I'm up on drug charges.
Well, I just think that she should be able to grow up and read and hear what she wants to hear.
Right, you bet. Hey, so what does your husband do?
He works for a newspaper.
Is your daughter drug-free?
Yeah, she's drug-free.
Good. The Drug Enforcement Administration action is not the first controversy produced by Stern's TV special. Recently, now listen to how they sidestep this. Recently, he has been locking horns with Daily News TV critic Kay Gardella, who called Stern's show sleazy in a column last Thursday. Stern's show was one of the many items mentioned in a column of briefs. When Gardella later said she hadn't seen the show, Stern began attacking her on the air. Gardella responded that she hadn't reviewed the show but was merely commenting on it based on information from other sources. Oh, that explains everything.
Yes, but she didn't put that in the article she wrote for the paper.
Yeah, once you write that. What is it, Mitch?
Okay, I don't know if there's any way I can prove this, but apparently the guy, Michael Levine, who says his name is Michael Levin, just called
Levin, okay.
in the office.
Yeah.
He said to make sure to tell you, he won't go on the air, he won't give me his number. He said to make sure to tell you that he was just stating his opinion. It was a letter to the editor. There's no investigation. There's nothing like that.
No.
No, tell him to call the Daily News.
Tell him to call the Daily News. Don't call me.
He said that
tell him he should have thought about that yesterday.
He said he's FedExing us a letter.
Good. I'll see him in court. I'll see him in court.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not backpedaling on this one.
And
see him in court, man. You don't start your own investigations, Mr. Levin.
And he said that the only mistake he made was saying that he did work for the DAA, but he had nothing to do with it.
Tell him hold a press conference.
Talking to the press.
Yeah, tell him to hold a press conference and tell them that. That's his mistake. And tell him I'd like to see it on page 7 with his picture next to it so his kids can see him up on charges.
He said that he's a regular listener to the show and he was just upset with what you said.
Oh, is that all?
That's what he said.
Hey, thanks. Well, I'll see you in court. Do me a favor. Don't call me anymore. Don't FedEx me anything.
And he said to me, I'm just tired of hearing my name on the air.
Oh, tired? Sorry. I'm a little tired of seeing my name on CBS News that I'm indicted on drug charges. So think about that before you act on your own.
He defend himself all day to the press.
Mike, get in your car and drive in Manhattan and look for crack dealers. Do us all a favor. I'm paying your salary.
No, have yourself a press conference and tell people how irresponsible you were.
Yeah. Why don't you do that? Oh, you're tired of hearing your name on the radio? Good, I'll announce it every 10 seconds. Michael Levine. Daily News, hear me now. I want tomorrow's headline to be Howard Stern, 1-800-52-STERN, innocent, as charged. Howard, 1-800-52-STERN, innocent. Innocent of all charges. There was never an investigation. I want to see a headline. For crying out loud, because I will boycott your paper into the ground with my listeners. Man, you're not going to buy... Oh, you can't even afford the Daily News.
But say you won't buy from any of the advertisers.
Right. Well, she has no money anyway. Can't afford $24.95 for a tape.
No, I can't.
You have a credit card?
Yeah, well, that's beside the point.
Skip one meal out to dinner and you'll be able to buy a tape. This is a tape that's going to go down in history. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It could be appreciated in value.
First of all, you don't know that that's Michael Levine who called, number one. Number two, if he sends a FedEx, rip it up, Mitch.
Yeah, no, I said, well, how can I make sure that this is really you? And he was just getting really annoyed. He goes, well, I'll FedEx you a letter stating that it wasn't an investigation, it was my own opinion.
Have his boss call.
Yeah.
He sounded like someone that
He sounds like a listener who had a great idea as how he could get to interview Robin and Jackie and Fred and you and me and get me to shake in my boots, come in with his suit and everything, and tell all his friends at a party how he investigated me.
But this article has absolutely no facts.
None whatsoever.
None whatsoever. And they
the only
the whole
fact
page with no facts.
The only fact that this article contains in this whole headline, if you read the whole article, the only fact is that Robert Stutman, head of the Drug Enforcement Administration, says that Levine's letter was totally uncalled for and was written without the agency's knowledge. And now
they based the whole article on that letter.
On CBS News, Howard Stern is involved with drugs. Thanks, Michael. Tired of hearing your name on the air? I'm not tired of saying it. I'll write a damn book about it. You get on TV and apologize to me. You come to a press conference today and stand there with me and apologize. you're tired.
Well,
you get on there.
Walk around with him all day and explain this.
Yeah, you explain. You call my parents personally, and you explain to them what you did. Don't call Mitch. And okay. He's okay. He's a cool guy. He's gonna send me. He's gonna send me a letter.
Michael Levine. I hope all of your friends hear your name.
And Mike, I hope you have a nice house so I can take it in a lawsuit. Hope I get some money. And you know what, ma'am?
What?
If I win the lawsuit,
Way to go, Mike.
I'll give you a free tape. How's that?
Thanks, no problem.
Huh?
I love
big of you, Howard.
Oh, boy. No one's getting away with this anymore. I'm doing this. I'm going to fight this thing for every guy who's ever gotten popped against for no apparent reason. And I don't mean just for drugs. I just mean by anybody.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for John Lennon who got railroaded. I'm doing it for everyone.
Well, I'm sitting here looking in the paper today. You know, remember that kid over in Jersey who they claimed was a Satan worshiper because he listened to Ozzy Osbourne records?
Yeah.
Well, they've looked into his past family life, and the kid started drinking at the age of 10.
Yeah.
His friends say it was in part to impress them.
Right.
The whole Satan worship thing was to get on his parents' nerves because he didn't want to go to Catholic school.
Right. But they
of course,
blame
it's
Ozzy
Osbourne's fault that he has problems with his parents. That's the whole thing about, you know, just laying off the blame because it's too hard to accept the results of, you know, your own child-rearing practices.
I'd like to get the nerve of this guy, Mike. Now he's backpedaling. Hey, it was no big deal. I was just writing a letter. I was a little upset.
It was my own personal opinion. I accidentally told him I was from the DEA.
Yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. Well, pal, your mistake...
You committed an accident.
Your mistake has cost me a little bit too much here. I don't think ABC News is going to get on the air tomorrow and say, oh, by the way, Mike Levine was just kidding around.
Well, Howard, they're saying here that your attitude enhances the attitude of acceptance of drug use.
Ma'am, you're a listener of the show. How many times have you heard me get on the air and say I'm against drug usage of any kind?
A lot of times.
Too many to mention.
But the thing is, their attitude enhances the acceptance of censorship and blackballing and Mrs. McCarthy.
What if I had gone on the air and said I was for drug use? So what?
It's your business.
My business,
That's
not
right.
his. He doesn't like it.
Everybody can turn the dial.
So he's going to investigate you.
Irate listeners don't upset me. It's just when one has a little power base, and look what gets out of control here. And the Daily News, boy, they're so responsible. They just print any damn thing.
Well, I just
Another
wondered if
group of reactionaries.
What was that, ma'am?
I just wondered who's sleeping with Kay Gardella.
No one, I hope. I don't wish that on anybody.
I wouldn't want to be in bed with her hair.
Me neither. All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
I gotta go. We'll,
Very, you know, I can't believe... I don't want my name on the air.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of mentioning my name. What? Yeah, I bet you are. I think you're going to have a lot to answer for. I think Rudolph Giuliani's going to want to talk to you. It's called you have public trust, sir. You work for the government. You don't go railroading people with your little private letters. If it was a private letter from a concerned citizen, why did the Daily News get the quote from you that you would be happy to make the arrest? Somebody should have warned him that he was admitting to the commission of a federal and state felony. Levine said Stern bragged openly. Levine is the Drug Enforcement Administration agent. I mean, how do they get all that information if you're just a private citizen?
You should keep your pin in your pocket.
Yeah,
obviously, it only gets you in trouble.
You drive around, look for some crack dealers. I'll introduce you to a few. Be back right after this.
You're going to battle.
Come early. Don't miss out.
Okay.
You're one of the headlines
On what?
on the local CBS radio news.
Oh, Christ.
Howard Stern under investigation for drugs because of a statement he made on the air.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, man. My parents are going to freak, and my wife, oh, my kids, oh, man, my sister, oh. Total fabrication. Farmer Video now has free one-year video club memberships available at participating locations. Free club memberships. 80 locations throughout New York and New Jersey. More movies with multiple locations. You get what you want when you want it. All the latest titles available. Palmer Video offering a free subscription to the Palmer Video News, your complete monthly video club magazine.
The only news magazine you should get.
Yeah, the only one that isn't biased. Take advantage of Palmer's Fast Factory authorized VCR service at low prices. Not only do you get great videotapes at great prices, but you get great service on your VCR. They got all the new titles: In Dirty Dancing, RoboCop, Platoon, soon to be released Beverly Hills Cop 2 starring Eddie Murphy, The Princess Bride and the Untouchables. Palmer Video. Yeah, the other radio stations are having a field day with me.
Oh, yeah.
All the news stations. CBS News, ABC. Howard Stern under investigation. I wonder if they do it like in a two-man delivery they do.
Well, this was one, where they just tell you the headlines. I didn't hear the actual story they're going to do. I just heard them, they say, coming up, Howard Stern under investigation.
For drugs, no less. The one thing that I'm clean on.
Well, that's why I think it's so funny.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
But, that's because I have a personal knowledge of you.
And do you realize this started from some guy driving around in his car because he was a little ticked off?
Yeah, don't you people realize, how crazy, just shooting from the hip is? Think about what you do. This guy he never got this much attention in his life. When the Daily News started questioning him.
Oh, he was probably thrilled.
He was probably sitting back saying, I'm important. They want to talk to me.
Pablo Guzman is in the lobby, Jackie?
That's what Tom told me.
Oh, now he wants to talk to me.
No, he does not get an interview.
No way. Tell him to lighten up. Guy's been writing crap about me for years.
And doesn't take your phone calls when you call him.
Tell him to go on Nutrisystem. Great new weight loss program. 718-896-4200. You know, I know a guy dropped 75 pounds in 3 months. Did I mention that?
Yes, you did.
They're a weight loss program.
We know all kinds of people who've lost weight on Nutrisystem.
Yeah. What is it, Mitch?
The secretaries have made photocopies of the article and are now distributing them to everyone in the station.
Oh, great. Great. That's what the secretaries do around here.
Well,
Annoy me.
I walk out into the hallway, and there's a whole group of people here, even, who are not necessarily on our side.
I want to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't even dare go out there.
Yeah.
I can picture Nancy, the receptionist. Ooh, Howard, what did you do?
I knew it.
I knew it.
In fact, Nancy was the first one who ever said to me, he said something nice to me today. I was like, what? He was nice.
I am a nice guy.
Like you're supposed to be,
What am I, some kind of heathen?
Really?
Pablo Guzman is in the lobby?
I didn't hear that.
Maybe Jackie just made that up. Tom told me?
Let me go take a look.
Yeah, go look at him.
Pablo. Yeah, that's just who I'll talk to Channel 5 News. They always get things straight.
We're talking to Paco before we talk to Pablo.
Yeah.
Rude to him.
Should yell at him.
Oh, do one of those interviews.
Yeah.
Let him look in the window.
Yeah, let him look in the window.
Film us through this glass.
I gotta pee something awful. I don't dare go out there, though.
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting to see the faces.
Oh, are they all long and like this is the end of my career? This was like during the FCC investigation,
well,
too.
Well, that was a different kind of thing, because, there's a group of people here who are not necessarily fans.
Yeah, right. Don't tell me their names.
And they're sitting around looking like,
Yes, Pablo is there with the whole news team, and he wants to know if you'll talk to him.
About what?
The 1-800-52-STERN number?
Why don't you take the wireless out there, and I'll talk to him through the wireless. What's the matter? Can't do it?
It takes about 15-20 minutes to set up if you don't mind. If he doesn't mind waiting.
Or if you
Where's he
bring him in.
Where are we going? We have nowhere to go. How do you get up here anyway?
It's regular hours, and everybody can get
He's in the lobby.
He'll just screw up the story.
But he's gonna, even if you don't talk.
Yeah, all right. You can just get the wireless.
No. I think you should only talk to people with representation today.
With my lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You should hold an official press conference if you do anything at all.
Yeah, but those look worse. I hate when I turn on the TV and I see some dude standing up there with his lawyer defending himself. I hate that.
No, if you get a lawyer who looks like half-girlfriend, though.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I've already given our official comment to about 10 people who've called.
1-800-52-STERN?
Yes, that's our official comment.
So the only way you can really judge for yourself is to watch the videotape. And maybe now they'll all have to get, order the tape so they can run clips of it on TV.
Yes, here's what they're talking about.
Here's what happened. I am Geraldo Rivera. God, I gotta pee. I don't know if I gotta pee because I'm like a nervous wreck over this thing, or I gotta pee because I really gotta pee.
I think it's because you're a nervous wreck, because this is your second pee of the day, and usually you only make one.
No, do you count?
Mitch is like a nut. He's like my biggest groupie.
No, because I always see you come out into the hallway.
Ooh, Howard went twice today.
I'll have to jot that down in my journal.
On a day of lots of pressure, Howard went to the bathroom twice.
Yeah, keep track of that for the book, for the movie.
I could tell he was nervous.
We'll have Robin Williams play My Life, and he'll just run back and forth to the bathroom. Oh! I gotta pee. Nanu.
Oh man!
It's a 3P or what's going on today?
It's a 3P-er.
It was a 3P day.
3P. I can see Pablo Guzman. It was a 3P day for Howard Stern. As I was there, I saw him go to the bathroom 3 times to pee.
I myself witnessed one of those pees.
And if I want to pee, I got to walk by that whole situation there with Pablo.
Yeah.
You have to look at him.
Oh, you don't have to walk. Oh, yeah, there is a door there.
I could put a sheet over the door.
Yeah, put a sheet of paper over the door. Go ahead, go out quickly because I really got to pee. Else I'll pee on the door. Anyway, Nutrisystem really does work. We've seen people lose tons of weight. It's 718-896-4200. Mind if I sell you some insurance also?
Go ahead. We need it.
Can't do that, Gary?
No.
Do I get to take a break?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go pee. I don't care. So let Pablo Guzman see me. Be right back.
Hi, this is Jimmy Fink. Make sure you stay right here after Howard Stern. We got nothing but classic rock and roll all day long. And at 12 o'clock noon, the K-Rock Cafe.
Thank you for your support and good luck.
Didn't you think I did a good Nutrisystem commercial before?
No.
Oh, you didn't? All right, let me do it again.
You said Nutrisystem and you gave the number.
Everybody knows it works. You know it works. You've seen tons of thin people coming here, and they've shown you their fat pictures, and they've lost like 75 pounds. Neil's brother-in-law lost 25 pounds on it. You know it works.
I know all this.
And you know how easy it is because they make the food for you.
But maybe Michael Levin doesn't know it.
Yeah, maybe he listens with half an ear. But anyway, seriously, Nutrisystem is fabulous. There's just no better diet. I mean, it works. Everyone else I know is walking around fat, except for the people on Nutrisystem. It's fabulous.
And they help you maintain that weight loss, which is the most important thing about losing weight.
718-896-4200. Okay, Gary, satisfied? It's hard to keep my mind on the commercials.
I know.
Let me tell you about life insurance also. Best
agency.
Best agency. 1-800-999-BEST. Good service, this one is.
Do they have insurance for people who will come around and try to ruin your career?
Yeah, I need that insurance. I got a thought here, but I'll save it. 1-800-999-BEST. What they do is they're not an insurance firm like that. No, let me explain this. They're not the insurance company that you directly buy the insurance from. They go around and shop insurance for you, and then they sell you the lowest priced insurance. Great insurance. A-plus rated companies, they do business with.
Sure.
It's all real top-level insurance, but they just shop around for the best prices for you.
And they sell you the insurance you need.
Yeah, they do a great job. 1-800-999-BEST. They got one policy here they shopped. For male age 35 non-smoker, $100,000 life insurance, $110 a year. The rate remains the same for 5 years, and this is offered from an A-plus rated company.
$110 a year?
Yeah, 1-800-999-BEST. It's fabulous. They have fabulous deals. Don't you think it's kind of curious when the Daily News writes an article that I'm being investigated for drugs, and then in the same article, they print the last 3 paragraphs about Kay Gardella? Does that have anything to do with the story?
This should be a heading of why we printed this article.
Yeah. There's other controversy. Kay Gardella. What does Kay Gardella have to do with me with a drug probe?
Well, they say this is the other controversy drummed up by the pay-per-view special.
Yeah. And they explain it away. I mean, what kind of article is that? Talking about a major drug investigation.
And then all of a sudden, and by the way, he's fighting with Kay Gardella.
Yeah. It's some article. Oh, boycott that paper. Cripple them. You're on the air. By the way, we should make the distinction. This is not the Philadelphia Daily News. It's the New York Daily News.
Yes.
People in Philly are all confused.
Oh.
They're boycotting the Philadelphia Daily News.
Oh, no.
Hi.
You're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Howard. I'm trying to get the radio turned off. Howard, I am appalled by what's going on, and I'm sorry that you have to go through this. We listen to you every day in our office.
I had some real funny stuff planned for today, too, like the Tiny Tim tapes and all that.
Well, I really would rather hear you get through this than hear Tiny Tim. No offense to him, but I cannot believe Kay Gardella and that anybody can get away with these things.
Yeah, it's pretty scary stuff. I'll tell you, I'm exhausted from it. What are you doing? Scott? You going to do the wireless? Robin thinks I shouldn't talk to Pablo Guzman.
Well, you shouldn't give him a statement.
Yeah, I won't give him a statement, but I'll just tell him I won't give him a statement.
Right.
That might be kind of funny. I'll talk to him put the microphone in the lobby, and I'll give him a pair of headphones, and I'll take us out of delay. Thanks.
So, are you going to get Jessica to give you a call?
Yeah, go. Yeah, we should call her. She can tell you there was no drugs back there.
I think Jessica should support
You can call
now.
Penn and tell her. They'll tell you there were no drugs. You can call the lesbians. They'll tell you there were no drugs. You can call
Emo
Judy Tenuta. You can
Richard
call
Belzer.
Yeah. This is a guy who wanted to start. He thought he was starting something cute.
I am sickened by all of this because it's so scary. That
You have no idea what it's like to be me. I swear to God, I am just so totally freaked by this. I'm out in the hall, and people are now making believe they're putting syringes around their arms and doing heroin stuff, shooting themselves up in front of me, which now I got to sit and deal with all that crap.
Thank God you called me last night to warn me about it.
I know.
Because if I had come in and seen this...
Oh, you would have had a heart attack.
I'd have had to carry you. I'd have been going out in an ambulance when you came.
Well, I was angry that they warned me ahead of time at first because I was up till 11 o'clock sitting there wondering what this article was. And then when I saw it, I got even more outraged because it was the work of one guy acting by himself.
Yeah.
It's not even the Drug Enforcement Agency. But the only thing that kept going through my mind was, oh, man, my parents are going to react badly. My sister, my wife was already upset. My wife was already saying, you go too far on the air. I go, that has nothing to do with it.
Thing.
I'm going to change it. They're trying to change me and what I do on the air.
Well, I don't understand what happened to freedom of speech.
It doesn't exist in this country.
What happened to the Drug Enforcement Agency getting their privates in line? You know, I mean, what happened to them getting their workers in line? That's like if one of the secretaries at K-Rock went out and started doing sales on her own.
Well, I can't understand this Robert Stutman not saying, this guy is going to be talked to tomorrow morning. I want to see him in my office first thing because I don't know what authority he used to release this information to the paper.
No, instead there's a 4-paragraph lecture to me about that I'm irresponsible about drugs, which is absolutely outrageous. It should have been Robert Stutman saying, my God, I have a guy on my force who doesn't know what he's doing.
It's a mutiny.
Yeah. That's like if every police officer just went out and just wantonly did investigations on their own without getting orders from their police captain.
I must say the New York Police Department conducts itself in a very appropriate manner.
Yep. Well, they have rules over there. The Drug Enforcement Agency, I don't know who runs it, or I'm going to find out. My agent says don't talk to Pablo. How come?
Well, he wants to get this handled in the correct fashion.
I think does my agent get 10% of the lawsuit after I win it?
No.
Good. He doesn't.
It's not a gig he got you.
He's going to claim he got me the pay-per-view gig and he arranged everything.
He arranged to have you brought up on charges.
My agent's already nervous, and rightly so, because we've been dealing with some networks and stuff, despite what you may think, just because the Fox Television Network doesn't want me. And this kind of, like, blows everything.
Well, why do you have to be nervous? You know you haven't...
Yeah, but the network guys don't think like we think.
You see, when the FCC thing came about...
That's what killed my Fox deal.
It killed a lot of different deals. Because people say, oh, he's hot right now. We don't want to touch him because it might rub off on us.
Rupert Murdoch was scared because he wanted to get all his approval for his newspapers and stuff, and he didn't want to have any kind of taint of dealing with a Howard Stern who was in trouble with the FCC.
Well, that's why you're going to sue. Because...
I am going to sue, but God,
but still, the damage is done.
The damage is done.
He'd much rather just be able to go through with the deals he has working on.
I can make more money just doing the deals.
Maybe not. Maybe this will be good for your career.
Well, we'll see if the courts agree. I hope
that's
so.
A maybe, though.
I certainly do. I'll tell you what would lessen it for me is if the Drug Enforcement Agency would hold a press conference immediately and just get this all stopped.
You know, these bureaucracies, it doesn't touch them.
Yeah.
You know, this guy, Mike Levine, he'll be able to get up and go to work every day without reporters camped out on his lawn.
What is it, Gary? I'm sure he's a hero.
He'll walk out of work today. Pablo Guzman's not sitting in the lobby waiting for him.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's a hero with his little group of friends. Howard Stern was talking about you. That's what he wanted.
Oh, man, look at all the publicity you're getting.
I think what he really wanted was to be able to, like, go to a party and say he investigated us.
Yeah.
Hey, I investigated, and you should have seen Stern shaking. Oh, boy, yeah, big man.
Oh, yeah, I put him in his place.
Well, Howard, I wanted to tell you a long time ago, I think you're much better than David Letterman. You are better looking, and I cannot believe that...
Certainly there's no contest between me and David Letterman.
Oh, never.
No, I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, we're not competing.
I don't know why you revere him so much.
You know.
He's a nice guy.
Well, take a guess why. Because he's got a national show, and he lets me go on and plug stuff. And when the guy...
I mean, personally, I think you revere him. I think you look up to him.
I revere anybody who's managed to get himself into a position that he's gotten himself into.
Sure. And
Absolutely.
with all that positive press, it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah, you don't see him linked. You know, he gets pulled over for a speeding ticket. It's like fun. Oh, David Letterman got pulled. It's good publicity. It's like, oh, Dave, I get pulled over. I'm on major charges.
Irreverent.
Well, I just think you're much better, and I would rather listen to you and watch you than David Letterman. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. Right,
So,
I'll accept that as a compliment. Dave, did you dial 1-800-52-STERN?
I live in Philly, and I didn't get the paid review, so I just didn't do it yet.
Oh, just do it.
All right.
Did you want to see what went on?
Well, I believe you. I'm not, you know.
No. You really ought to get the videotape so you can see the show.
Yeah, and plus his backstage tape. It's the same tape that the Drug Enforcement Agency will have to look at, I'm sure.
All right. Well, maybe I'll make it a present to my husband.
Yeah, make it a present. Presents are great. He'll love it.
One for yourself, too.
Yeah, one for you, because sometimes you don't like to watch it with your husband. Like, he might like to watch the lesbian stuff, and you're probably going to want to, like, watching Penn and Teller.
You want to watch the guy put his penis on fire.
Yeah, that's for you. I got something for everyone.
I'm calling right now.
Call 1-800-52-STERN. You better hurry, call now, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to have them on sale.
Okay. Thank you, Howard.
And your brothers and sisters will love the tape.
I'm sure.
Okay, and your
Bye.
kids. Well, maybe not your kids. It's mature
Nice
theme.
stocking stuffer.
Mature theme.
I have to get back to work. My boss is
Proceeds go to K-Rock.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Throw all the information in. An exhausting day. What is it, Scott?
Ready.
You know, my agent said, all right, I'm just going to tell Pablo I'm not talking to him. All right, go ahead. Bring it out to him. Bring him out the wire. Wait a second. Don't bring anything out. Let me take a commercial break.
Hold it right there.
I'm going to make a statement that I won't make a statement. We'll be back right after this. Good organization. No money down. By the way, the Kay Gardella song parody's ready also.
All right.
Low monthly payments. It's great. Look at the availability of cars DeFeo has. They have cars in stock, over 3,000 of them. That means you can get 48-hour delivery upon credit approval.
All right.
So you just go in. They have them there. Mitsubishis, Toyotas. Nothing worse than ordering a car and then waiting 3 months for it. Isuzus, Subarus, BMWs, Mercedes, Benz, Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs, Lincolns, Fords, Pontiacs, Acuras, Chevys, Jaguars, etc., etc., etc. They even have a special deal for people right now. They got a special sale on convertibles for the summer. Corvettes, BMWs, Mustangs, all of that with big winter savings. Order now. They promise delivery within 48 hours of credit approval, free Emerson microwave ovens with every Howard Stern lease. Just mention my name at DeFeo Auto Leasing, 943 Communipaw Avenue, Jersey City, New Jersey. And their phone number is 201-432-5100. They're great. Should we get rid of Pablo? We got to call Leslie first.
That's funny.
To calm him down.
This is a presumption of guilt. Do you realize this?
Oh,
If you're calling people to see which one it was. That is a presumption of guilt.
There was nobody who got drugs that night. Les, it's Howard. You're on the air.
What is this stupid?
You believe this? Hey, first of all,
NBC, Lenny K. Who I just didn't want.
Did I sell you any drugs the night of the special?
The only thing I snorted was the cleavage between Jessica Hahn's new. Come on, there was nothing going on. I was pissed off that it was so boring.
Was it a clean night or what?
Too clean for me.
Yeah, it was too clean for everyone. In fact, that was the biggest complaint of the night.
I wanted somebody to get me a little glass of Absolute vodka.
Yeah.
So the one guy, the Puerto Rican guy that you couldn't understand, says, "I'm sorry, the only thing we got is a red or white wine."
Yeah. In fact, everyone was complaining to me that, in fact, the only conversation that we had backstage, me and Gary, I said, well, what's the deal on the drugs back there? He goes, there are none. I go, can anybody get them? He goes, I wouldn't know where to get them. I don't want them. I mean, it was like all of our appearances are very drug-free.
Hey, listen, you know the funny thing is what?
Did I sell you any drugs that night?
What?
Did I offer you any drugs that night?
I said, what?
So then why
you... if I was still getting high, I certainly wouldn't depend on you for that.
Exactly.
You'd probably send me, you'd send me the Nutrisystem, and that would be the end of it.
He denies you insulin, doesn't he?
So, Leslie, don't get all freaked out.
No, you know what it was? I didn't want to say nothing. I just hung up on the dude.
Good.
And Robin saw me backstage laying down, freezing, so it wasn't a drug.
Right, he was cold. He was hot.
Oh, good.
But I just did not
we should have given him drugs, but we didn't. We didn't have any.
The one thing I can say, the best...
No, let me just say something here. By the newspapers calling you, they're just frying me over and over again.
That's what I'm saying.
Now they're harassing my friends, and it's going to be real easy to get guests on my next television show, let me tell you.
That's why it's a defamation of character.
I think all this can do is just help 1-800-52-STAR.
That's right. See, actually see videotape of Leslie and decide for yourself if he was on drugs that night.
And first of all, you said something before that I think went over everybody's head. There were more police backstage for security.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you know, if anything...
Question the police, then. Hey, Leslie, let me go talk to Pablo Guzman. I just wanted to calm you down. I just wanted to calm you down.
I'm just going to hang up on everybody. That's
Good.
all. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I think nobody should make a comment to the press.
Yeah.
And definitely you shouldn't do nothing without a lawyer, Howard.
I plan on getting one right after the show.
All right.
Take care. Bye. Leslie, sitting back in his house.
Yeah, and I guess it was that statement I made that I saw Leslie laying on the floor.
Right, that's right. So therefore, that means Leslie must have been on drugs.
He must have been on drugs.
Right. Let me just tell Pablo. Mitch, you back there?
Hello?
Mitch?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in the lobby right now.
With Pablo?
Excuse me?
Oh, now Pablo doesn't want to talk to us.
Yeah, they're getting ready to tape me talking to him.
Good. Well, they'll do anything for a story. They're going to tape Mitch.
I'm going to be on the news.
Mitch is all excited.
All right, we're ready when you are.
Tell Pablo I have no comment. I have nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
I have nothing to say. Tell Pablo I have nothing to say.
Pablo, we have nothing to say.
Thank you for sharing that with me, Howard.
Yeah, we have nothing to say.
You don't want to say anything at all about this brouhaha?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Bye.
You take care.
Bye.
I'm coming back in, Howard.
Okay. Well, there it is. We bought a $20,000 wireless just so I could do bits like that.
Well, that was good radio.
Hey, we took you right there. Howard Stern refused to comment. I could just see it. His spokesperson, a little dwarf named Mitch.
The dwarf Mitch said.
Oh, man. I'm going to throw up from all this. How do I get this thing back in delay? Press both buttons? It took us out of delay for the Pablo thing.
Well, I'm glad.
But I handled that right, I think.
This brouhaha.